Hi, I'm Gordon from Skyfarer. I'm in charge of operations. So today we've had the opportunity to work with new companies and companies that we've worked with before. So it's great to integrate the technology, and everyone sees drones and different opportunities and how we can use drones. But this particular event's been great. And firstly, I'd like to thank the people that we've worked with, because this worked incredibly well, and they've had some incredible products that we joined in with. And Sunil for being such a massive part of it, Coventry City Council, and Elcrig as well, because they've done an amazing job. So thank you to all of you guys for making it a really fun event and getting us all together so we could give you a fun demonstration earlier. Okay, down to what we've been doing. We've been operating a drone here. We've been tied in, but the drone that we've had is an unusual one. It's been a drone in a box. So rather than a standard deployment where you have a drone operator who turns up, manages the flight, looks after the flight for you from the drone in the box is able to be placed and operated remotely. And those operations can be whatever operations you want that a normal drone can do. But the position of the box and the legislation for it is all relatively new technology, relatively new legislation, and that's all coming. So if you've got one thing we want you to do, all of us, as far as the innovations, are to think where you can in your organisations use these innovations, because these innovations are the things that are going to make us safer, more profitable and more efficient in the future. They're the things that are going to make our industry stand out and what we do. And everything Elcrig has done here has been fantastic, looking towards that. Ian before, when he was talking about the buses, kept talking about it being commercial as well. So when you have something like a drone in a box in a place, that has a cost for getting it there. To make it commercial, the more uses and the more times it flies, then your average cost goes down. And that's where it becomes more efficient than having a pilot turn up and travel hundreds of miles or however to get there. So once we've got that, we can look at all sorts of different use cases. So whilst it's there, it can do 3D modelling for you. 3D models will be potentially of use to you, but they could be of use to somebody else you're working with on site. And it's worth keeping all of this in mind, and maybe it'll be a shared use service for you with other people on your site. So a 3D model can be presented to a client, and it will be a dimensionally accurate model that will be as accurate as a normal survey. So if you have a survey team go out with a pole and measure things, 3D model, you'll get 200 million, 300 million points, depending on how big the site is and how big the model is, all of which will be dimensionally accurate and you can measure from. So this is a really useful and exciting solution. And if you have a site that you're working on, you can model it and you can use that to plan, but it's an added use and an added benefit. So maybe this will be able to reduce your costs, or maybe it'll be a shared use so you can share the cost with other people. But then we can do obvious things, roof surveys. Obviously, you do not want people working at height. If you have an unsafe roof, you can send a drone up and the drone will very quickly produce a very accurate roof survey. We are fully understanding that you need the data and you need to be able to use the data. So we always present the data in a useful way to you as well. So you have a look and you can click on a photo. But once again, it's a shared use service. So if you're there with a client, if you're there and your client has a drone in a box, maybe you're able to use that. We are looking to deploy with people like Coventry, other cities as well throughout the country, where there will be more drone in a boxes available. So even if you're not using a drone in a box or a drone service yourself, keep an eye out. At the moment, they're very few and far between, but it won't be long before that'll be a service that you can plug into automatically. And you'll be able to plug in as easy as these guys and use their amazing technology alongside it as well. It's a shared use and an add-on to that. So if there's people doing roof surveys, absolutely fantastic. If you have one near your site, always ask us. You can always get a roof survey in. Incident response is what we were doing today. So they're ideally placed to quickly access an incident. So as soon as we're warned about an incident, we're able to get there quickly. A drone can fly straight there and it can assess and do a triage on it, live stream it to your control room, Once you've had a chance to have a look at it, you can then decide whether you need to send emergency services or whether you need to send someone out to put the cone back up, or how urgent it is. By having a live stream, you also get a video recording of it afterwards, so you've got evidence of what's gone on there. So that can help save you in manpower, and it can be operated from our remote service, and it'll be directly sent to your control. Traffic monitoring. There's always with traffic monitoring, you always have the people go out and they record everything for you. This is a great and quick way of being able to observe pinch points. So we've been working with, once again, people like Sunil, where we were able to concentrate on a junction, record that junction for an hour or two at whichever important time of day you're looking at, and you can maybe get a video, an artificial intelligence survey. We can count how many vehicles, we can count average speeds, we can count where the vehicles go. So you get a full heat map and understanding of your highway, but from an aerial viewpoint, which is extremely insightful, and is very different to a camera on the ground. Once again, it's a shared use. So if you are working in roadworks, and you're able to produce these surveys on top of anything else that you might be doing as well. So it's an added service you could offer to your client, but it's certainly a service that you can ask us for. Pedestrian monitoring. Once again, if you're working in a busy environment and there's a lot of pedestrians, we often do it on events, and we monitor pedestrians leaving a place, and then we monitor the traffic. Once again, it's a live feed, and there's artificial intelligence to be linked to it as well, which will be live, so you can follow individuals if you need to. But it's a shared service. Again, it's not necessarily what you'll be doing on your highway service, but it's all can be integrated and can be asked for as well. Right, so that's all the things that you may get from a drone in a box. And what we're trying to promote from this is that we want you to think of where you want the drone to be used. I could have gone into 10 more use cases of different things that you want. But every time we speak to a group of people, they come back with something new, something unexpected. We go, of course we can use a drone for that. So we're asking not just to show off what we've got here at the moment, but to show off your thoughts and your products, and particularly for this type of event, what you think might be interesting and where we might be able to go with it. Okay, thank you, Sonny.
Yeah, thank you, Gordon. I became the drone now. No, thank you for your time, and I'll do a quick wrap up as to see why and what and how today panned out for you guys, and primarily the key messages I want to get over. And those who were here last year will probably remember the Omeo and the drone. Skyfarer were here, Omeo were here, and we showcased the e-call system on a collision thing, just to show that within the year how much we've progressed. But one of the key messages I wanted to get over here is the collaboration as well. You know, we as a local authority, working with our neighbouring partners like Warwickshire, Solihull, Birmingham, but SRL and all the other partners that have demonstrated today, don't be afraid of collaborating. The industry partners as well as local authorities. I'm in a fortunate position where it is allowing me to do some of this innovation, but my innovation on its standalone isn't any good until and unless every single other authority is following the same trend. Then we'll not make any progress. Everything we've shown today is showcasing some of the key messages that we've been advised about, to say these are the targets that we have. The government, central government, the FT, are always now looking and pushing to progress. We as a country are very, very innovative, but we tend to then slow down. But we've now got the government who is backing us to say, take this to the next level. We can't do it on our own. I can't do it on my own. These guys, when they do the innovation and the technology, if it's not deployed, then it just falls down. So the key message here is, again, everything we are doing at the end of all of it is making sure the message you gave is getting home safely. How can we get people home safely? And the safety is the key. Across the world, people will do a lot of innovation, but safety comes right very, 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 very bottom, and they're not. But we in UK are very good at keeping that safety. But now, thank you for your time today. And as you can see, Gordon's just mentioned a few use cases. We've got so many use cases. We engaged with over 60 local authorities, and out of those, 8 of them requested that can we do? We monitor fly tipping. How many authorities suffer with fly tipping and never thought about using a drone? Very good results. Traffic monitoring, traffic congestions, building surveys, thermal imaging. So, there's so many use cases. Don't constrain yourself with just one aspect. Come and talk to us. Every single person, I am talking on behalf of all those around the room, as well as the supply chain outside. The collaboration is key. Let's work together and make sure that we deliver. Don't work in silos. But I'll open up to questions if you're okay. Okay, Brett. Yes, please.
I am Southbound of Excellent Suicide, and we are people. Thank you all very much for your presentation. And I've watched fast perspective about the drone. You give some part and start 3 years ago, you probably never did that. And obviously, legislation is a fact. The big plan beyond official knowledge kind. You brought talking about that. How is the legislation awareness so we can actually use those drones if you thought he was then that non-box and not for my students. Where are them?
Fantastic question. Absolutely. And it's just not drone related, as mentioned by Omeo. Connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, every single thing is hampered by legislation. We call it hampering, but I think it's the right way to do things. Flying beyond the visual line of sight, people's concerns were, especially in answer to your question about drones, people's concerns were, when are we going to see flying taxis? Well, flying taxis, we in Coventry demonstrated the world's first urban airport, which allows for the flying taxis to land and take off in the center of Coventry, right next to the station. But from that, we learned that, yes, that is the ultimate aim that we want to aim for, but that's not important. What we're trying to showcase is situations like this. What can we do it in practical terms, which will give us the confidence, or give the public the confidence of allowing drones to be in the air? Because that's their concern. Will I get my pizzas delivered in the back of my garden or the front? No, it's not going to happen. There are structures and there are legislations that we're working through. The drone in a box is another step to where you have an infrastructure, right? They can then be remotely operated. That's the next step of flying beyond visual line of sight. But we have to then demonstrate to the CAA and all the regulatory authorities to say, we've done the regulatory framework to take off and land on a piece of land which is owned by the city council or any private. So as the moment you take off a meter off the ground, then the legislation kicks in for the CAA. So we're working with them to try and tick all the boxes, get the authorization, get a document ready, which can then be shared across the whole sector, not just the industry, but the authorities and everyone who's interested. And again, part of my role is to come and give that message over to say, what's the development? Do you need to do a trial, as Gordon said? Come and talk to us. We'll come and do a trial for you. Do you know what I mean? And I can guarantee you it'll be a lot more cost effective than what you'd have to spend. So it just builds up that use case and gives us the opportunity to showcase to the authorities and the regulators that, yes, we are ready for. Beyond visual line of sight, flying does need a lot of infrastructure put in. We're working with comm suppliers, people who are doing satellite communications. What can we do to make sure that when we're flying beyond visual line of sight, again, the key point is safety. If something happens when we're flying beyond visual line of sight and someone gets injured, it just stops everything. So I'd sooner be cautious, but deliver it in the right way. Hopefully that answers your question. Oops, sorry.
Would be rather were of copies that should be picked by. The whole psychology thing that be able to buy happy story. I want to look for all this, so they are the cuts of the
Yeah, absolutely right. And the biggest challenges for us when we're doing this innovation is getting that mindset changed. So, people, I still want to change my gears. Why do I want autonomy? But it's not the you and me. I'm looking at the future. The younger generation will be more accepting of this. They want to. Flying a drone, I was saying to someone earlier, I went and got myself a pilot's license. I went and bought a drone to say I wanted to experience what we can do. Could I fly that drone? Could I, like? But gave it to my child, my son, dexterity on gaming, it was there. It was off. And you can see the pilot we've got out there. It's brilliant. So in the autonomy world, think about it, if we've got a driver, which is the most costly resource that you have to, which could be driving a bus with nothing on. But if you convert that to an autonomy and you have an on-demand transport, all of a sudden, the person sitting at home or is a pensioner who hasn't got a vehicle, or even if they don't have to have a vehicle anymore, put that on-demand vehicle, and he'll come and pick you up and take you to wherever you want to go. The acceptance, the confidence builds up with the trial, and that's the request Ian put out. Go and trial it, and you'll see the difference, what confidence you get when you sit in and yes, it's a driver. There is a safety driver now, but he was just there because the legislation tells us. Acceptance is going to be a challenge, but we are working with other partners, universities, academia partners, to get that over. Anyone?
With the inside of buses, do you think I might have moved the fantastic idea, but disability alliance, we were just saying about the pavements, you did go over help you private council that do be a problem on the septic, and so you made them when it like insurance, dressing aid and driver, you kind of grace.
Super question. Ian stood there. Ian, you've got your next customer. Go and experience the way, the reason for working in collaboration with some of these is exactly what you say. As a local authority, I need to address all of those. As a manufacturer, there might not be top priority. Their bar priority is to probably get the vehicle on the road. We've worked with Omeo to say, no, you need to have a ramp. So when you get a chance, go and have a look at the ramp that's been installed on this autonomous vehicle, and you will see that it comes out. And the person in the wheelchair, either it's been pushed or it's an electric wheelchair. The accessibility is the key thing, that because equality and to make sure that the most vulnerable are catered for first. If we cater for the most vulnerable first, then the normal public will be happy with that development. So that's one aspect. And the second aspect was, how can we get them the confidence that you either getting the thumbs up or you're getting the antisocial behavior? How do you stop that? Every single vehicle, I went to LA and I took the Waymo. Those who have been, I don't know if you've ever been on a Waymo. It's similar to Uber, but it's an on-demand taxi service, totally driverless. They have, and this is a true incident. We said then I took 4 people. It takes 4, 3 in the back and 1 in the front, but no driver. And there's 3 people sitting at the back, as we do in UK. We'll just pull the seatbelt and hold it to say, I've got my seatbelt on, that's fine. Literally drove about no more than 40 yards in front, and I got a message come through, and literally a person speaking to me to say, excuse me, sir, could you please make sure everyone's got a seatbelt on? Yes, I've got my seatbelt. No, you need to clip it. So he goes, and we thought, hey, it's all right, he doesn't know. Went another 40 yards, and he says, I'll have to pull the car over to make sure you've got your seatbelt on. He pulled the car over remotely till we got the seatbelt on, and then he said, I'll let you go now. So those sort of things are already been looked at. The antisocial behavior, there are more cameras in the car than there are outside. So they're constantly monitoring every single movement. And that's where we are taking that technology to. So, they're the things that we want to address and make sure that the confidence is there for people to use it. But any more questions? Yes.
We're just thinking about when the investment opposite us, like the boxing. So investment that way, but to go pay the next goals like some project and talking around Dennis, we have that and so on. Is there any evidence to show real savings so this way that I think you would share?
I'm glad there's someone from the local authority asking that question. It's brilliant. Yes, there is evidence. One of the examples Gordon gave about the survey we did for rivers and canals. Rivers and canals do the survey, and they have to physically walk the route and the canals to see what the damage is. And it would have cost them around £50,000 to do the survey that we showed you. It costs £5,000. It's how you actually showcase your business case. Once you think about it, the quantification becomes in, where's the safety element of it? If I put someone up on the roof who has to have a harness and and close the road, and there's your case, that's your business case, that's your saving. You're not having to put the resource out on the street. That image is streamed live to your control room if you want to have live images, or it's captured and you can analyze it back in the office. So it's how you quantify that saving. That's the new way. And this is what I'm saying, the innovation where we are today is something that we have to, and I do have to thank Elk Creek for facilitating, and I'm sure there will be more to showcase. And the biggest request is come and see us, come and talk to us, and attend meetings like this. And if there is a case that you want me to come and show you, what the use cases are and what they, because to quantify what the saving is, it's how do you want to weigh it up? Do you want to put someone's life at risk? Because like I say, when you have a collision avoidance system or someone monitoring remotely, reducing that congestion, there's no financial savings, but your emission savings are targeted. Do you know what I mean? So it's how you. But there is a definite saving. But the biggest also that when I will shut up, honestly, I'll go on forever. But how do I create jobs for the future? We had a big apprentice situation yesterday. We showcased how many young people are involved. What can we bring to them, which will make them feel, well, actually, there is a career here. There is something that I can do. So that's my ask, and I will wrap up there because I'm getting told up, Kerry. But thank you for your time, and thank you for attending. And please don't miss out Blackpool and next year's events. We'll be back here and we'll be showcasing more. Thank you very much.